What's going on, New Life veterans? Junior Bennett coming to you live. I am 100% permanent total Navy Desert Storm veteran. In today's message, we're going to keep up the theme of supplemental claims. About 13 days ago, I shot a video regarding why we have 63% of the applications all supplemental claims. So the form that you need to fill out is VA Form 20-0995. Now, the form for a high-level review, which we're not going to talk about, is a little bit different, so please don't get it twisted between the numbers because there's only one digit difference. If you want to do a high-level review, that means you're not going to submit any new and relevant evidence, okay? So I want you to understand that VA Form 20-0995 gives you the opportunity to submit new and relevant evidence, okay? On that form is going to ask you the last decision date of your disability got denied. I don't care if the denial was 20 years ago. You need to know exactly the same date. You can find that date in eBenefits or va.gov. You can also find that date by calling 1-800-827-1000. Again, 1-800-827-1000. You can ask them when was the last time I was denied for sleep apnea, whether you filed it direct or whether you filed it secondary. If you're a little bit confused and say, well, I filed it direct, I didn't file it secondary, it doesn't matter. Long as you file for that particular disability, sleep apnea, no matter what theory you use, you filed it before and got denied on it, okay? So therefore, you got to use VA Form 20-0995. Because a lot of you are changing your theories of service connection. You might say sleep apnea secondary to obesity versus sleep apnea secondary to PTSD. Why would that be different? Because obesity gives you a conduit to the PTSD. The PTSD has given you overweight. If you're overweight, the causation for the sleep apnea. It's a better claim as well, because notoriously weight has everything to do with exasperating sleep apnea. Okay, so obesity is not bad. So in that line, it's going to say list the disability or list the decision, last decision date, and then you're going to put on there what you're filing now. Now, once we establish that, everything else on the form is pretty self-explanatory. Your social, your address, signatures, and dates, and things of that nature. Okay, if I was filing a denial, filing for a decision that I disagree with, I will have a Trump-type statement in support of claim. So the Trump-type statement in support of claim is going to go on the form VA Form 21-438. Again, VA Form 21-438. If you Google that form right now, ladies and gentlemen, you would download that form. It's going to say statement in support of claim. This is your statement that is coming out of your mouth of the events that's happened, okay? What I like to do for those of you that are New Life Insiders, if you're not a New Life Insider, as a paid member, you can be able to download my exact statement in support of claims that I sent into the VA to get 100% permanent total. Again, if you are a New Life Insider, you will have access to that, all of my templates that I use in the statement support of claim. Now, there's a few guidelines that you need to really focus on when you're writing out your statement support of claim. The number one rule, write this down, is to be clear and concise and spell it out from the beginning. So what I mean by that, when you're filling out your statement support of claim in the remarks section, I don't know if that's section 2 or section 5, because they're different from different forms. This is your chance to tell your story, how you got the sleep apnea, if we're going to use that as an example. Sleep apnea secondary to obesity caused by PTSD. Do you understand that is the exact line on the first line you should be writing to let the VA rater know, not to confuse the VA rater, but to make it plain and concise that you're filing for sleep apnea secondary to obesity caused by PTSD. There should not be no confusion whatsoever on any documents on what you're trying to file. Okay, now that's just the first line in that remark section. On the second, make a space. On the second space, we're going to talk about the etiology. The etiology of your disability, meaning when did that sleep apnea start? When did you have a sleep study test? Okay, and that test is called a polysomnogram. So And if it was me writing my statement support a claim, I would write, I discovered that I have sleep apnea due to a overnight sleep study that occurred on this date, at this time, at this hospital, with this particular doctor. You're making it very precise and very clear. Now, if you're going to make that statement, wouldn't it make sense to add your polysomnogram results into your claim? Absolutely. Especially if you have not been to a VA clinic for that sleep study. Okay? If you have been to the VA for that overnight sleep study, you can say, I went to 250 Arcadia, or the Atlanta VA Medical Center, Arcadia, at this particular time, on this particular date. I spent the night over, and they said that I lost my breath so many times, and they are issuing me a CPAP. They issued me a CPAP on this day. I went to this kind of training to know how to work the CPAP machine, okay? This is your etiology telling them when you knew that you had it, okay? The next paragraph in your statement support a claim should be talking about the severities of your sleep apnea. In my sleep apnea statement support a claim, on the third paragraph, I specifically talked about I had a lot of daytime sleepiness, a lot of fatigue when I'm driving. I don't like to drive long distances. I can only drive at least an hour, 2 hours tops before I get sleepy. I need to travel with Monster drinks, energy drinks, to keep me awake. I'm sleepy during the day. I can only sleep 4 or 5 hours max, even with the CPAP machine, 4 to 5 hours max. If I don't sleep with the sleep machine, my mouth is dry. I'm breathing out of my mouth. I'm not breathing out of my nose because I got a broken nose, a deviated septum. I get paranoid with the mask on because of my nightmares from PTSD. All of that is in there, available for them to see how bad my sleep apnea. I even put in a traffic ticket that I got because of I fell asleep at the wheel with my foot on the brake while the engine was on at the light, and the cop woke me up. Now this was nothing but God. My angels were surrounded by me, around me, because here I was asleep at the wheel with my foot on the brake. The engine was still engaged into drive, and I got a ticket for impeding the traffic. So wouldn't it make sense to add that as evidence, how bad, demonstrating how bad your sleep apnea is? You almost lost your life in a major intersection because of the fatigueness. Okay, so you want to put that in there as well. Now, something what we call the icing on the cake, if you will. We'll go ahead in the fourth paragraph. We're going to also talk about legal precedents. And if you know, if you're a New Life Insider, legal precedents really is the icing, if you will, on the cake. I'm going to include at least 3 court cases that demonstrates veterans who've applied for the same thing, dealing with sleep apnea secondary to obesity caused by PTSD. 3 legal court cases with the citation number, docket number, when it was decided. Hopefully I can find something in 2022 or 2023. Okay, I'm going to include all 3 cases inside of that statement in support of claim. I'm going to sign the bottom of it, and I'm going to date it. So if you want to recap, I use 4 parts to that statement support of claim. The statement of what I'm claiming, the second paragraph, when the etiology of the disability, when it began. Third paragraph, how severe it is. Fourth paragraph, I have the court cases. I start off the 4th paragraph by saying, below are 3 cases that have been adjudicated in the veteran's favor at the Board of Veterans Appeals court. And then I listed all 3, okay? All right, so I just want to conclude with this video and add in synchronicity, or a series of videos regarding how to file a correct supplemental claim using the process that we use here at New Life Insider. So this has been my message today. If you like the video, comment below. I hope this helped you. God bless.